$1 million plan for addressing the city's flooding concerns. And Crowder College looks to cultivate the next generation of great American writers. KOAM News at 10 is next.
The city of Neosho is getting nearly $2 million to help with flooding concerns. I'm Blake Gully. Will have that story coming up.
Plus, new educational opportunities come to Pitt State in the form of 2 new degree programs focused on supply chains. And the CEO of a global company has some inspiring words of advice for students at Pittsburgh State University.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Neosho receives a nearly $2 million grant from the state of Missouri to improve flood-prone areas. This is KOAM News at 10. I'm Tanya Bach. The city is one of 15 Missouri communities receiving grants totaling more than $16 million from the state's Community Development Block Grant Program. KOAM's Blake Gully shows us how this funding will impact the Neosho community.
Over the years, Neosho has been hit by storms that left several parts of the city underwater. Thanks to the Community Development Block Grant Program, the city plans to build new retention ponds to slow down stormwater and help reduce flooding.
These ponds will help reduce the flooding along one of our main business areas, the Neosho Boulevard, along with some other projects that we're working on the other end of that floodplain.
Businesses in this area have seen firsthand how the water behind me can overflow and cause issues. And city officials believe the new retention ponds will help ease the impact in the future.
When we do these, what would normally be maybe let's just say a 50-foot channel, if we can get that channel to only fill 25 of those 50 feet, well, everything in those 25 feet on either that are now outside the floodplain no longer has to have flood insurance.
The improvements are welcome news for Neosho Christian School, which has also dealt with the floodwaters.
It's come all the way up to this gravel area before, and we have a hard time with our ditch that's back here flooding, and then the debris will back up. We have to call the city to come out and clean it up, and so it'll just help our area look a lot better.
The new retention ponds aim to improve both the safety and the look of Neosho. Reporting from Neosho, Missouri, Blake Gully, KOAM News.
City of Neosho is currently in the early stages of planning and hopes to have the project complete by July of 2026. Authorities in Galena, Kansas offer an update to a landfill story we brought you about a year ago. Last year, several people in Galena complained about a bad smell coming from a landfill in the area. The KDHE and the EPA investigated the source of the smell and ways to reduce it. Authorities say as a result of the investigation, lime was added to the landfill to mitigate the smell, and that addition has proved successful. The plan now is to monitor any reduction in detectable odor and to resume layering the area with lime treatment when the odor becomes noticeable. Authorities also say even when the odor is noticeable, they have yet to detect any harmful levels. Well, Chief Meteorologist Doug Hetty joins us now with a first look at weather.
Well, we got more thunderstorms in the forecast. The rest of tonight overall is going to be fairly calm, which is good news, but thunderstorms back in. This is going to be late tonight, and then periods of showers and thunderstorms through the day on Tuesday. We even have kind of a sneaky low severe threat. Heavy amounts of rain, transition to showers on Wednesday, but temperatures pretty nice into the 70s all week long today, officially the first day of fall. All right, so we got a few clouds out there, southeastern Kansas, but we're waiting for this upper level wave out across western Kansas through the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. That's going to head toward us. Showers and thunderstorms erupt as we go through the morning hours. Here's 7:30 in the morning, a big batch pushes through, and then more thunderstorms form late in the day. So we're going to break this down for you here in a bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, Pittsburgh State University unveils 2 new Bachelor of Science degree options. Students can choose between industrial distribution, focusing on the technology side of the industry. The other option is supply chain management. It zeroes in on the process of procurement and sourcing, logistics, and distribution. According to PSU, the median starting salary is over $70,000.
getting a product from its inception, from the raw materials to us as final consumers, is a critical element, and it's complex and it's interesting and it's fun. It's a big part of what moves this country.
Both options are a 4-year degree and are open for enrollment next semester. Intercon Engineering marks 50 years in business, and CEO Larry Tangles shared the company's story at Pittsburgh State University this evening. What started by his father in a garage in Peoria, Illinois, has grown into a global operation with products in 110 countries and facilities in 12. Tangle talked about how the company got started, the culture, the philosophy of running businesses, and how to expand globally. Tangle hopes what he shares can help entrepreneurs start and maintain their own business.
No one gets fired at Intercon or recommended or demoted because they make a mistake. Mistakes happen. We understand that. People get in trouble for not owning their mistake, for not declaring what they did, and for hiding what they're doing. So our fundamental ethic is act and then own your action.
The event was part of the university's Vision to Venture Entrepreneurship Speaker Series. The Joplin Health Department looks to make the community a little bit healthier at 104 beats per minute. The department is offering CPR classes for the public through the month of December. These 3 CPR classes will be held each month for people of all skill levels. In addition to hands-on CPR, the department will also offer training in the use of an automated defibrillator. For more information, including schedule and how to register, just head over to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Well, more and more Americans expect less help from government programs. Coming up, where Americans expect cuts and how it will impact them. But up first, we get a rare inside look at the B-2 bombers, which recently flew an international mission from a base in Missouri. Get ready for a rare, up-close look at the B-2 bombers used to target Iran's nuclear facilities last June. The aircraft were part of a surprise U.S. attack on 3 nuclear sites in Iran. The bombers took off from Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, which is where Ian Lee got unique access to the planes and their weapons.
We're entering one of the most secure military bases in the United States.
This is the flight line of Whiteman Air Force Base.
It's home to the B-2 Spirit, America's most advanced active bomber and the plane used in the strike on Iran last June.
I think in terms of my lifetime as an airman, this will be one of the most consequential raids that we've executed.
7 B-2 bombers, each carrying a crew of 2, flew 36 hours round trip to hit Iranian nuclear sites in Operation Midnight Hammer.
So the B-2 is very advanced.
Colonel Josh Whittla oversaw the mission. He commands the 509th Bomb Wing at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri.
We try to adjust our sleep cycles prior to the mission, and then on the mission you trade off as a team.
The B-2 was over enemy territory for less than a half hour.
What was going through your mind as your crews were flying?
Huge amount of emotion. We were all cheering over in the squadron building when we knew they were safe.
This is one of the bombers that flew the mission, the Spirit of California.
From the outside, the B-2 looks high-tech, but when you crawl into the cockpit, it resembles a plane built 30 years ago. With its knobs, buttons, and dials, it even has a microwave, toilet, and cup holders.
The attack on Iran involved multiple 30,000-pound GBU-57s. This is the first time we're getting a close look at the massive ordnance penetrator.
This is the GBU-57 that was designed for this mission, for this aircraft. The B-2 is the only one that can carry it.
It's a big bomb.
It is.
Colonel Jared Kenish heads the National Guard's 131st Bomb Wing, which also flew in the mission.
So those are the fins that guide the weapon to its target. So once it drops from the aircraft, those will pop out.
14 pilots flew the raid, but it took much more than that to be successful.
And there's 4,000 total force airmen across hundreds of specialties. So when you look at a complex, global mission, all 4,000 of those people are working in unison, in secrecy, to make the mission happen.
The B-2 is the present, and in the future, Whiteman will be home to the next generation stealth bomber. The B-21 is currently being tested And when asked the difference between the two planes, military officials said the B-2's like a car phone from the 80s and the B-21 is the latest iPhone. Well, Doug returns next with a complete look at your forecast, and a little later, cultivating writers.
A program at Crowder College hopes to encourage the next generation of great writers. I'm Samantha Walker, and I'll have that story coming up.
Well, it turned out to be a nice Monday for us today after scattered showers and thunderstorms over the weekend, where some areas picked up some very heavy amounts of rain. Other areas, not a drop. So it just depends on where you live in the four-state area. But heavy rains back in the forecast starting in the morning hours. Officially at the airport in Joplin, 1.5 for the month of September, 32 for the year, almost 3 inches behind. So we could use a little bit of rain, but some areas, again, don't need any. But we do have a flash flood watch in effect until Tuesday morning for pockets of very heavy amounts of rain. Plus a severe threat, level 1 threat. This is mainly 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Tuesday evening. Level 1 out of 5 threat in the green, level 2 out of 5 threat once you get into our southern counties. Not much going on for us right now, pretty much clear skies, but we're watching and waiting for our upper level wave out to the west to rotate in, and it will do so as we go through the overnight hours tonight. There could be an isolated storm, most of you quiet. Here's 3 o'clock in the morning. Here we go, storms driving in, 6:30, western counties, Yates Center, Fredonia, Coffeyville, Bartlesville. Driving east, getting across that Kansas, Missouri state line into southwest Missouri, northwest Arkansas by 8, 9, 10 a.m. This heavy batch pushes out. Let's go into the afternoon. If we can get some breaks and some sunshine, we're going to destabilize that atmosphere. If that occurs, thunderstorms get booming. So here's 5, 6, 7 p.m. And again, there's a little sneaky low tornado threat with some of these guys as we go into Tuesday evening. And then thunderstorms drive east, out of here by late evening. Here's about 10 or 11 o'clock, and then just showers as we go into Wednesday morning. Could still see a few thunderstorms, but mainly showery. As we go through Wednesday, the cloud showers will keep our temps down a bit over the next couple days. How much rain could we get? We just got to wait and see where those heavier bands line up. But what this is going to show you is a lot of us, 1/2 inch, maybe 2, maybe isolated 3 or 4 inch amounts in spots. So those thunderstorm chances really increase as we go through the morning hours. Day planner 71 to start, 75 by noon. Let's go with a high temp of 77 degrees. Here's our upper level wave kicking out. Now, once this passes by, we dry out. We get really nice conditions. Look at Thursday, mid 70s, nice and fall-like. A little bit warmer on Friday. We near 80 for afternoon highs. And then as we go into the weekend, we're going to be into low to mid 80s for highs. But overall, looking pretty good. All right, thunderstorms on and off Tuesday, 77. 75 Wednesday. Then we dry out. Nice long stretch, about a week, with nice fall-like temperatures, 70s and 80s for highs.
Ready for fall. Well, more than 3,000 pounds of Kirkland signature brand ahi tuna wasabi poke in clear containers have been recalled over concerns the product could be contaminated with listeria. And the poke was sold by Costco stores in more than 30 states across the U.S. The FDA says no illnesses have been reported so far. Consumers should throw away the product and return to their local Costco for a full refund. Signs of an already cooling labor market. There are new concerns over job cuts. A Resume.org survey of 1,000 U.S. business leaders finds that 6 in 10 companies plan to lay off workers next year. 1 in 3 say they'll implement layoffs before the end of 2025. According to the report, economic uncertainty is the main reason given for the job cuts. The workers most at risk are high earners and those lacking AI skills. A record share of Americans expect less help from public safety net programs in the future. That's the assessment of a public policy survey from the Federal Reserve Bank of New York. It finds consumers believe there will be cuts to housing assistance, welfare, Medicare, and student aid in the next 12 months. The bank's Consumer Expectations Public Policy Survey also reveals a growing percentage of Americans who believe it's likely unemployment benefits will also decrease during that same period. In addition, consumers expect a drop in taxes and a lower income tax rate for the highest bracket of earners. The survey released Monday follows Congress's recently passed tax and spending package that includes more funding cuts to federal programs. Still ahead, the vote is in for our Friday night performance of the week winner. And we take a second look at Pitt State's big win over Fort Hays State. Ben McLeish has those stories and more up next.
Pitt State football is back to 500 after its 13-16 win over Fort Hays State Saturday. KOAM Sports Director Ryan Blank has the recap of the Gorillas' big win.
The Pitt State Gorillas have won back-to-back games after a thrilling comeback victory over Fort Hays State on Saturday. Let's relive some of the game's big moments and takeaways. With around 9 minutes left, the Gorillas trailed 16-10 until Jackson Berry loaded up the deep ball and connected with Grayson Holbert for a go-ahead 78-yard touchdown, taking advantage of what the Tigers' defense was giving them.
They'd been giving us some stuff all game, and we just hadn't been able to capitalize. And, the offensive line had great protection right there, and JB threw a perfect ball. Grayson ran a great route, and, we were able to take advantage of it at that time.
I'm not looking for the ball. I'm just doing my job and let the ball find me, and I know he's going to put it where it needs to be.
But it didn't stop with the Holbert touchdown. The Pitt State defense forced 2 of their 3 turnovers on the day in the final 8 minutes of play.
I'm super proud of our guys on defense. They made some adjustments at halftime. We challenged them a little bit at halftime, and anytime you can hold a team to 3 points in the second half, no matter what you're doing, that's a good half. Fuchs' interception was just phenomenal, the way he went up and got that thing, and then I believe we got a fumble recovery by James there at the end as well. So if you can take the ball away from the other team 3 times, that's going to be good for you too.
The offense took advantage of those takeaways with Luke Nigaman finding the end zone not once, not twice, but 3 times on the day for the hat trick.
Anybody that plays offense wants to score as many touchdowns as they can, so that was awesome. Offensive line played great. That was all them. Anybody can go back there and run that football like that. I'm just in a great position and very lucky to be a part of this.
He's a dog, man. He's an incredible human being. He's an incredible football player, and that deal's not just Luke. We got some really other good tight ends in there, and the offensive line blocks really well. It's a testament to that whole unit and just the pride they take in that.
One key takeaway for the Gorillas on Saturday was their improvements in the red zone on both sides of the ball, finding pay dirt 3 times and forcing a Fort Hays turnover.
Both sides of the ball, we really challenged our guys this week. Our offensive red zone had not been good through the first 3 weeks, and our defense in the red zone had not been good. So we kind of challenged our guys with that this week, and both sides of the ball really stepped up there. So super proud of that.
In all 4 games this season, Pitt State has trailed, but never backed down, highlighted by their fourth quarter comebacks the last 2 weeks.
Our whole thing has been is passion for the finish. So we had to be passionate about finishing plays, finishing tackles, finishing catches, finishing blocks. So that's a part of our resilience. This is one of the most resilient teams I've ever seen. I'm glad to be part of this. They just drive that mentality into us that we have to be resilient no matter what comes our way. We can face any adversity, but it doesn't matter as long as we have passion for that finish. We can come back and beat any team. It doesn't matter what happens.
The Gorillas hit the road to Emporia this week with a matchup against the Hornets. Reporting for KOAM Sports, I'm Ryan Blank.
Well, every Friday night during Press Box, we ask our viewers to vote on who they think dominated on the field. Today, the vote is in. Webb City running back Mason Williams earns the nod for his performance against Ozark. Williams finished the night with over 250 running yards and 4 touchdowns. And most importantly, he helped lead the Cardinals in their 52-35 win over Ozark. You can cast your vote every weekend on our website, koamnewsnow.com/pigskin. Well, that's it for sports. We're back with more after the break.
This fall, Fort State hero.
All right, thunderstorms back in for us late tonight into Tuesday morning. Some of these guys could be a little bit stronger, even low-grade severe. I think our better chance to get something strong or severe is about 3 p.m. until 8 p.m. Then thunder showers sticking around Wednesday. We hold into the 70s. 80s return as we head toward the weekend.
Well, the deadline to register for a program inspiring the next great American writers is fast approaching. Crowder College's Young Authors Conference and book writing contest hopes to encourage young students to put pen to paper and unleash their creativity. KOAM's Samantha Walker has more on what the program has to offer.
We're hoping to inspire them.
Inspiration is the driving force behind Crowder College's Young Author Conference and Book Writing Contest, now entering its third year.
Students write better and are more excited about writing when they have an audience, when they know somebody is going to look at their writing, read their writing, be excited and celebrate their writing. So by hosting a competition and a conference, we're providing that audience.
Both the contest and conference are open to any student between 2nd and 4th grade, whether they're in public, private, or even homeschooled.
Really trying to include our entire region, any of the counties of Vernon, Jasper, Newton, McDonald, or Berry.
Crowder sends information and curriculum ideas to participating classrooms, asking them to have their students write and illustrate an original story.
We ask them to pick their top 3. Then our education students judge each one of the stories, and then we choose the top 2nd, 3rd, and 4th grade writers.
In May, every student participating in the program is invited to the Young Authors Conference, where they can meet local authors, learn how to improve, and hopefully be inspired by the power of writing.
Hearing young kids ask our guest speakers how did they become published authors themselves, it just inspires us to keep going.
Because they know the skills of reading and writing can have a big impact.
More likely to successfully graduate high school, to graduate from college, and so we know that those foundational skills of reading and writing really can change the trajectory of a student's life.
Reporting in the O Show, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
Crowder staff know a passion for writing knows no age limit. They also offer the Crowder Quill, an annual literary and art competition that serves high school students through adults. Well, thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great evening and an even better Tuesday.